How's it going, fellas, and welcome to the channel where I kick back, relax and talk video games. And today it's going to be another NBA 2K19 tutorial and how to beat the Mycareer Hall of Fame difficulty. People have been struggling for this for years, but I finally figured it out. It took me a couple of months, but I can consistently beat the Mycareer. Other than the super team, the Golden State Warriors, when I was the battling Phoenix Suns, did I actually struggle with the Mycareer difficulty or the Hall of Fame difficulty in the Mycareer? So over the next few minutes, I'm going to be talking about everything that you need, the cheesiest things that you can do to beat the Mycareer Hall of Fame difficulty. So if you like that sort of stuff, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into it. So the first tactic only applies to Hall of Fame shooters. Look, I'm a playmaking sharpshooter, so I have the ability to shoot from deep. If your archetype doesn't have the ability, you can't do this little tip. But all you have to do, from the inbound, run up the court. Run up the court and then slowly start to let off the turbo and then be at a walking pace. When you get to about half a meter to a meter from the three-point line, then just pull up. Because most of the time, you've got to take, look, if the defender is outside the three-point line, you don't want to do this. But if he's inside the three-point line, or sometimes he's even behind the defender, like a center or a power forward, so you've got ample space, you're pretty much wide open every single time. Just have a look at where your defender is when you're bringing the ball up, because a lot of the times, more than 50% of the times, he will be back in the near the paint sometimes, and you can get a wide open three. Just have a look at where your defender is. Just sprint up, but make sure just once you pass half court, let go of the turbo. Maybe about half a meter to a meter past half court, let go of turbo and begin to walk so you don't get a leaning shot. Then just pull up for free, because a lot of the times the defender just slacks off. He really does. Just have a look at your defender when you're bringing up the ball. If he's inside the three-point line or behind a big man defender, pull up for free. If he's not, if he's on the three-point line ready to defend it, do something else. But a lot of the time, trust me guys, it is a simple three 9 out of 10 times. It really is that simple. So the next thing I want to talk about is using park post cheese against the AI. But you have to hit triangle to actually make this effective. Because look, you use the post cheese. You go into the post and then you stand next to an AI player, and then or an AI defender. And then once your AI teammate runs round you, point at the player with your left dual shock, and then hold triangle, and your player will cut to the basket. It is virtually impossible to stop for the AI. It really is. The AIs just have no idea how to stop it. And this even works online with one player as a defender and then the AI as the rest, like in my team and things like that. This still works. All you have to do, post up near a defender, just wait for your teammate to run around you, then hold square and he'll cut straight to the basket. But you just have to make sure that you're pulling the L stick towards the player that you want to cut. And one other thing when you're holding triangle, if the cut doesn't work, you can hit circle to fake pass, so you don't actually throw it to that defender. Because if you hold triangle and hold it for say 2 or 3 seconds, it will automatically pass the ball. So if you want to pass it anytime sooner, just let go of the button and it throws it straight to him every single time. It's easy buckets, fellas. Use the post park cheese to your advantage in Mycareer. So the next thing I want to talk about is the behind the back. Look, the behind the back is one of the best dribble moves in the game. Whether you're a playmaker, a slasher, or anything like that, if you have the ability to have the behind the back that is somewhat effective, that helps so much in Mycareer. Because the behind the back, the AR really doesn't know what to do, especially if you do this move that I'll show you in this video, the behind the back step back. And the computer does not have a chance. As long as you have ankle breaker at silver or better, even bronze can work to some degree, but nowhere near as successful. But all you have to do is run up the court like what I told you with the shooting tip. Let go of the button, just like I was telling you. Hit the right analog stick down once you've let go of the turbo, but you have to be turboing before this. You need that momentum, so you need the speed of the turbo, and then when you want to do the behind the back, let go of turbo, flick it down, then flick it up. And then because you've got the speed of the turbo, you're gonna get a huge momentum boost to the side. and it's going to be impossible for the AI to stop a lot of the time. Look, sometimes they're going to stop it, but then you just have to know when he's in your face, maybe pump fake it and use the speed boost to the left, because you can do the step back and then you can gain some speed boost. Soon as you land, if you push left or right, you will gain a speed boost and you'll be able to drive to the basket easier. But if you're wide open, if you trigger that ankle breaker, you're going to be wide open, and it's an easy 3 every single time. So all you have to do, as I said guys, is run up with the turbo. Then soon as you want to do that behind the back, aim a little bit to the left or right so you do actually go to the side, flick it down, flick the right analog stick down, then once the behind the back's finished, hold right or left, whatever way you want to jump, and then hit up on the right analog stick. That's no turbo holding or anything like that. Just flick it down, then up. That's all you got to do, guys, and it's pretty much an easy 3, 9 out of 10 times. If you want me to make a video about my dribble moves, I can do that to help you guys get a better chance of making open threes, because this move works literally 90% of the time. You will trigger ankle breakers. I have gold ankle breaker. If you have silver, this still works. Not as well, but it still works 60 to 70% of the time. If you have ankle breaker at gold or higher, you're going to be pretty much getting 80, 90, nearly 100% of the times you're going to be getting ankle breakers or just creating enough space for an easy 3. So the next thing I want to talk about, especially if you're a guard, transition offense or fast break offense is easy points a lot of the times. All you have to do is just start off in the middle of the court, run over halfway when you're still in the middle of the court, and then at about just before the 3-point line, hit to the corner. Maybe a little bit earlier, maybe in between the 3-point line and half court, halfway in between those, hit to the corner. And you're pretty much open 90% of the time. Like, it's very rare that the AI actually defends this. So if your big man can get a rebound or a defensive stop and you can just hit that fast break quick, a lot of the times you're going to be wide open in the corner or on the wings, because the AI just doesn't pick it up. They run back to the hoop, they run back to the paint, and that's pretty much all they do. So the wing and the corners are wide open on the fast breaks. Exploit it big time, and even if you have the ball, even if you get the rebounds, look for those wing and corner runners, because they're wide open a hell of a lot of times. So the next thing I want to talk about is exploiting the pick and rolls. Look, the pick and rolls have been overpowered for years. They really have, but I've actually figured out a few methods to actually exploit them 3 different ways. So what you need to do, the first thing, if the player goes under the screen, so if the player hits the screen and goes around the person towards the basket, pull up for 3. That's all you need to do. Just pull up for 3, because you're going to be pretty much wide open a lot of the times. Yeah, they will contest sometimes, but a lot of the times you're wide open if they go over the screen. So the player hits the screen and then goes round the player closer to you than the basket. What you want to do there is either power boost, so you get the player to hit the screen, you want to just keep running and then hit it behind the back. So you want to turbo behind the player so you get a bit of space, let go of turbo, hit the behind the back. If that doesn't create enough space, hit the behind the back again. You will eventually create enough space for yourself in Mycareer a lot of the times. If you don't create enough space for yourself, pass it off to someone else, or a double team will happen, because you keep doing behind the backs. It like triggers this double team. The players just come over for no apparent reason and leaves the guy wide open for free. So just hit behind the back, behind the back, behind the back, and if that doesn't work, just hit it out to someone else and restart. But a lot of the times, guys, it will work. It's not as successful as the other methods, but it's pretty successful to get a higher success rate with this little feature. And the last thing I want to talk about with the pick and rolls is when the big man comes up for a double team. I was struggling to figure out what to do here, and you guys might be the same. You guys might have some way you deal with this, but when the big man comes up for the double team, so he helps out, comes up so you can't run around the screen, he comes up and helps with a double team, you want to shoot straight away. You're probably thinking, why would you shoot straight away? There's two defenders on you, but you want to pass out of the shot. You want to jump up, and then so basically how it works, start from the start, the player will hit the screen. That is the key time to jump, because once the player hits the screen, your player will roll. And then so when the player hits the screen, you jump up, and then your play will roll. You just pass it forward straight to him. As long as it's not a pass that you're turning your body and throwing it behind your back, it's going to go straight to the player 9 out of 10 times. It really is, and it's easy baskets. Sometimes a player will come up to help, but unless he gets the intercept, he just goes back to his own player. He doesn't even actually guard the guy driving to the basket. So it's easy work a lot of the time. So if that big man helps, just fake the shot and pass it, or not fake the shot, actually go up for the shot and pass out of the shot. You don't want to fake and pass, because for some reason, I don't know, that gets stolen by the guard that's guarding you a lot of the times, but a shot actually brings them in enough to actually get you to pass the ball straight to the player and where it needs to be. So the last thing I want to talk about is driving to the basket. When you drive to the basket, pump fake, wait half a second, then go up, because for some reason, the CPU just doesn't contest this layup. Unless he's fully directly in front of you, you don't want to go up then. But if he's a little bit out of position, you can go up 95% of the time. Just pump fake and then lay it up. As long as you're somewhat near the paint, you get a green light nearly every single time. It's crazy that the CPU just doesn't defend this. I don't know why. Unless he's in absolute perfect position, or you have a guy that's a lot taller than you. If you have a weak defender, everyone thinks, oh, Steph Curry is a great defender. Players like Steph Curry, James Harden, and players like that, they don't have good defense. Lonzo Ball, you can do it a hell of a lot to. They just don't defend it. They don't have the height in this game to get a shot contest with this animation unless they are completely in front of you. So all you do, just drive to the basket, pump fake, and then lay it up. You have to be pressing towards the basket to lay it up if you are anywhere outside of the paint. As long as you're not too far away, of course, you got to be close enough, just outside the paint. Like maybe a step or two outside the paint, that's it. You can't pull up from mid-range and do this, but just outside the paint or in the paint, unless they have complete positioning, you can pump fake and lay it up a lot of the times. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. I hope these tips and tricks or hints or whatever you want to call them, they help you out, because it is a grind to try and win the championship on the Hall of Fame difficulty, especially if you have a team that isn't up to standard. See, I'm in my second season now, so I've got superstars. I've lost one game, and that was because my player didn't get up a shot in time for the buzzer. That was the only loss of my season yet. I'm 14-1, I think I am. And I'm just kicking ass. I really am. It's a lot easier with these better players, but even with these lesser players, I went to the conference finals looking easy. I flogged Houston. I flogged Toronto. The only team I couldn't beat was the Golden State Warriors. So these tricks and tips, these strategies do work. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. Leave in the comments below any strategies, tips and tricks, or anything that you've found out that works against the Hall of Fame CPU in the Mycareer. Leave it all in the comments below. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch yous later.